So subscribe this channel to know more about the endangered human population and ethnic cultures of India. To reach Raji, you had to take a train or a bus from Delhi to Kathgodam. From Kathgodam, you had to take a taxi or a jeep to reach the Raji settlements. It takes 8 to 10 hours from Delhi by a car or a train to reach Kathgodam. From Kathgodam, it takes almost 18 to 20 hours to reach the Raji settlements. Raji is a little known tribal community that was brought to light for the first time in 1823 by the then Commissioner Humayun Traili. It is said that the Rajis are Bandrawats or descendants of the prehistoric Kiratas who were comparatively earlier settlers of the region than the Nagas or the Khasas. Akistan in 1882 stated that these early tribes entered India by the same route as the Aryans, and the Kiratas were the first of these other to arrive. In the course of time, Kiratas were gradually uprooted from the region by the dominating impact of other ethnic groups, but these descendants remained in Kumaun and Nepal. The legend now current among them is that they were descendants of the royal family of Ascot. Until a few decades ago, they lived in a life typical of the Neolithic age as square dwellers and food gatherers, subsisting on hunting, fishing, and jungle produce. Mr. Bora, in his article written on the Rajis in 1988, opined that they are one of the very few tribal communities still inhabiting caves and rock shelters. William Crook has linked Rajis with non-Aryan groups where Atkinson has found a racial mixture of the Tibetans and Kashis in their physical features. Mazumdar has assigned them a Mongoloid affinity. Besides this, Dr. Pichard has conjectured that the Rajis resemble the other numerous aboriginal tribes found along the Himalayan border, all possessing the physical characteristics of the Bhotias in general and very unlike the Doms. It appears that the intermingling of different ethnic elements for centuries has caused the disappearance of the original Raji racial features. The Rajis have been located living in small, remote and distant hamlets consisting of from 4 to 15 households. Most of these hamlets lie in an inhospitable terrain amidst dense forest far away from the surrounding Kumaun villages. In India, they are confined to Pithoragarh districts of Kumaun division. The language of the Raji is under the threat of extinction. Grierson, 1909, and Chatterjee has mentioned it is probably a member of the Tibeto-Burman family. Grierson listed it under the name Jagli and classified it as a Tibeto language akin to the Nepal Himalayan subgroup on the basis of the data, which included a large number of Indo-Aryan words. There is no doubt the language is going to extinct very soon. Kavita Rastogi mentions that due to the decrease in population over the years and the shrinking scope of its functional domains, the Raji language is quickly assimilating to the language of the dominant culture. As a result, the original variety is getting more and more restricted in use. In her views, these factors push Raji towards the category of endangered languages. In continuation of Man in Search of Man series, presently I am in Uttarakhand state, which is a newly formed state 10 years back, and it is an independent state with a lot of tribals existing in this region. We have two primitive tribes in Uttarakhand region. One is the Raji, another one is the Boksa tribe. The Raji tribes are existing in Uttarakhand region in Pithoragarh district. You can see this Pithoragarh, which you can observe here, Nainital, Pithoragarh, all these regions you can see near the Himalayas. We can call it as a sub-Himalayan region also. Here you can see the Himalayan regions. At the foot down to the Himalayas we have the Pithoragarh, where the Raji tribes are inhabiting. You can see in the foothills we have the villages of the Raji people. To reach that place, as though it is looking nearby, we have to travel minimum from this point 6 to 8 hours. These inaccessible areas, we have to walk several hours also. So this is the geographical location of the Raji people here existing. After 30 hours of journey from Delhi, finally I reached the Raji settlement. From the main road, I had to walk for a long distance, which you can see here, the passage. This is the settlement of the Raji people. You can see the passage and the river. And finally I reached Garchula village, where I am planning to document the ethnic vision.
Rajis were declared ruled a primitive tribe in 1967 as per UP order. Then in a later stage, UP was demarcated and made Uttarakhand. And now these Rajis, and sometimes they call the Banravas. Okay. And Banravas. In general parlance, people they have written about Rajis as a Banravas. And these people, they are living in district Pithoragarh of Uttarakhand, and there is one village in district Champawat. That was at one time Champawat is the seal of district Pithoragarh. Now it has been made separate district. Now there are 9 villages scattered in Pithoragarh and Champawat, and out of 9 villages you will find all exclusively of Rajis. For example, Kimkhola is the nearest village on the roadside, motor roadside. When you go from Jaljibi to Dharchula, it is in between, and above that Kimkhola village, it is the Ganagaon village where the Rajis, solely the Rajis people are living in. And then there is the one in DD Hat block, there is a Gandura forest. It is very famous forest, Gandura forest, and you have to climb, you have to go on foot from Jaljibi to Gandura forest, and it takes about 1 day to reach that Gandura forest. Then there is the one village on the what you call near the Thal. In this way, there are 9 villages scattered in the district Pithoragarh and Chamoli. And now the total population is 640, and I don't know what is the report given by Census of India, but we have done ourselves all the 9 villages and covered all the households, and we found that the total population as per the last year, it was 640 populations.
See here, now I came to this village, Kumham village, which you can see here. It took more than 2 hours for me to reach by climbing the hills. So you can see this is the valley where they are inhabiting. Is a beautiful valley. They are inhabiting in this region. Wonderful, the Himalayan ranges. See here. We have the beautiful. The houses also not in rows. The houses also scattered. You can see here. There is one house. There is one house. The houses also scattered. And we can see in midst of the houses they have the lands. They have the bananas. They have different type of herbs, shrubs they are growing, and this is some of these economic conditions are very, very poor for these people. And you can see above the forest, behind they have the forest where they will be going for minor forest produce collection. This is the village where they are inhabiting and they are living in a pathetic condition, which you can see here. The Himalayas, as we can see here, this is the Himalayas, and the Himalayas down we have the Kumaun hills. From here we can easily go for the Himalayan ranges, and the houses or the villages of these Raji people are settled in the hill ranges. in a beautiful landscape. You can see here Raji's settlement. The houses are scattered, and from one house to another house is a long distance. Walking to one house to another house is very difficult, and you can see here we are walking, and it is almost 70 degrees to 80 degrees the hills. Most of the Rajis still living in the rock houses, which you can observe here. Most of the houses are constructed with the stones, and roof is tile roof, and many of the houses doesn't have the doors and windows. I have told that the Rajis are inhabiting in the inaccessible areas, which you can observe here. The route, how we have to go to reach the Rajis. This is the small passage which you have to walk for long distances. Sometimes for some villages we have to walk 6 to 8 hours. So that is a Herculean task to reach these inaccessible areas of the Rajis.
Biologically, they look light brown to dark brown skin color, and they are medium stature people and thin people. And the interesting part is that you are talking about shows the paper of extinction. When we see the morphological features, they are semi-mongoloid. They are certain strain of the what we call australite characteristics you may find right in this area. Now
He is Ratan Singh. As you can see his houses where it has been located in the top of the forest. It is very difficult to reach there. There is no pathway also to go there. So आपका क्या करता है आप?
मैं इसमें पीआईडी था, मैं सर्विस करता हूँ ब्लॉक में सर।
आपका जमीन है खेती करने के लिए?
हाँ सर।
कितना है?
अब मैं जब पहले वाले वो तो पूछने फॉरेस्ट विभाग में था सर, वो जमा हो गया सर फॉरेस्ट विभाग का।
फॉरेस्ट ले लिया
जी, पहले फॉरेस्ट विभाग में, अभी रेवेन्यू विभाग में जाने बता दी सर।
क्या देख कर बताओ। फॉरेस्ट में ले लिया आपका जमीन?
हाँ सर, पहले लिया था, अब रेवेन्यू विभाग में जाने बता देते सर।
दिया है या बाद में?
दिया है सर, कागजात सब जमा किए हैं सर।
अरे कितना जमीन दिया है अभी?
अभी
दिया नहीं है, नाम होने वाला है
जी।
अच्छा,
कल आए थे,
हाँ
कल आधा हुआ, आज आएंगे तो आज आधा हो जाएगा, आज पूरा हो जाएगा।
Okay. Still, forest people is proposing to give him the land. Now he is landless man. The traditional houses of Rajis are having a cellar. You can observe here the cellar where the livestock will be kept, such as goats, cows will be kept in that cellar. In the upper portion, they used to live. See here, the goats used to stay in the cellar. In the upper portion, they will be living. So this is the traditional house of the Raji people. Some of the houses has been provided by Indira Awas, which you can see here, with a concrete slab. बताओ, यहाँ वहाँ देख कर बताओ।
किमकोला हुआ,
किमकोला,
भक्तिरा हुआ, गणगांव हुआ, चिफलतरा हुआ, कुटा सोरानी हुआ, मदनपुरी हुआ, जमतड़ी हुआ, अलतड़ी हुआ, खिरद्वारी हुआ।
खिरद्वारी, ठीक है।
चक्करपुर हुआ।
चक्करपुर
यहाँ चले पहले गए सर।
अच्छा, चक्करपुर नया गांव है क्या?
हाँ सर।
10 गांव हो जाता है? नहीं,
चक्करपुर जो बाजार नहीं है सर, बाजार की साइड वहाँ बसे हैं सर पहले के।
कितना घर बचा है?
2-3 परिवार के।
अच्छा, here Rajis, they have 9 villages which he has mentioned. The total population of this is 682 individuals who are living entire in Pithoragarh and also in Champavati district. In Pithoragarh we have 556 individuals, and Champavati district we have 126 individuals. Rajis are also called as one Rawat. One Rawat means forest. Rawat means king. The people who are living in the jungle, they are called as one Rawat. One Rawat means the king of the forest. Then they are also called one Raji, that is royal people. One means forest, Raji means king. That is in a royal people also they call. Then they are also called as one Manush, that means man of the forest. So they claim themselves as Rajputs. They belong to Rajput descent, that is their claim. The traditional dress has changed here to great extent. We can see among the Rajis Rajis has adopted the modern dress like plain people who are living in this region. The dress of both men and women are simple. Women presently wears chudidar like plain people, which you can observe here. Most of them are wearing chudidar and sweaters. And the jewelry is very simple. The traditional jewelry they have forgotten. Now they have adopted the modern jewelry of nose studs, earrings and bangles they are wearing. Men wear a pant and a shirt. Sometimes they wear a dhoti also, which you can observe here. They lead a very simple life like any other hill region population. During winter, they wear heavy woolen garments to protect themselves from the cold, which you can observe here. They wear the sweaters, caps and sometimes the coats. They purchase the cloths and woolen garments from nearby market.
आपका लोगों का कुछ गोत ऐसा है क्या? गोत शादी कैसा करने के लिए आपका देखो हमारे में 4-5 गोत है।
हाँ सर, हमारा भी ऐसा होता है। जैसे गोत, जिससे मैंने गोत पते तो हुआ, मेरा 5 पहिया हुआ सर।
अच्छा,
हाँ सर।
सो उसका गोत में आप शादी कर सकता है ना?
हाँ सर।
आपका गोत में आप नहीं शादी करता है? नहीं करता है। सर गोत का नाम बता दो ना। पसपैया और
पते तो लिखिए सर।
पते तो और
बड़वाल,
बड़ुआ, Jakut. So this entire Raji community is divided into 6 clans. All the 6 clans are exogamous clans. So they cannot marry within the clans, they only has to marry outside the clans. A clan member is considered as brothers and sisters. So it is interesting that they have the very strong social organization in this Raji community. The clans are also called as Goth. आपको भाषा में क्या बोलता है इसको?
जात है।
So you can equate with the clans. So they have 6 jats. One is Pasupaya, second one is Potato, Badua, Dalodie, Kakal and Baditiya. These are the Rakal.
Raji family is the smallest basic social unit, is nuclear and patriarchal in nature. It is mostly a family of man, his wife and unmarried children. Sometimes divorced or unmarried brothers and sisters, dependent old parents are included in the family. However, married sons leave their family of orientation to start their own family of procreation within a year of their marriage. Family members form a close-knit group to struggle against the physical environment and earn their livelihood. Children are born and brought up in a very congenial atmosphere. They grow up while helping their parents in all subsistence activities. Succession and inheritance of property is strictly patrilineal.
अच्छा, बच्चा पैदा होने के लिए क्या क्या खाता है?
और दवाई खाते हैं सर।
कौन सा दवाई, कैसा?
जंगल में मिलता है सर।
हाँ,
पौधा होता है सर। छोटी विवाह से छोटी सी होगा सर। दवाई खिलाओ सर। बाहर न भी होगा सर, बाहर टिकाव करने के लिए जंगल में मिलता है और बच्चा जो करने के लिए जंगल में दवाई मिलता है सर।
अच्छा,
हाँ,
वो खा लेता है।
अच्छा
बच्चा पैदा होता है। They have their own ethno medicine. When the woman is pregnant, they will give certain medicines collected from the jungle. Think that the child will be born healthy and good condition. That is why they will be giving ethno medicines from the jungle. आप डिलीवरी करने के लिए कहाँ जाता है? घर में ही कर लेता है, बाहर अस्पताल जाता है?
कोई घर में ही होता है, कोई अस्पताल में दारचूला जाते हैं।
दारचूला भी जाता है? दारचूला तो बहुत दूर होता है ना?
क्या करना है, फिर डिलीवरी तो करना है।
वो फोन करने से 108 आता है गाड़ी?
गाड़ी की नहीं, कोई भी तो आते नहीं तो गाड़ी में ले जाते हैं।
और कैसे जाते हैं?
पैसे से लाते हैं, पैसे से जाते हैं।
आपका पैसे से? सो गवर्नमेंट का कोई
में क्या करेगा फिर? कहाँ से गाड़ी आएगा, कहीं से क्या आएगा?
हाँ, सो आप खुद पैसे से जाता है?
हाँ जी।
हाँ, सो यहाँ डिलीवरी करने के कोई लोग है यहाँ लोकल का? दाई है?
दाई है ही नहीं, हमारे गाँव के।
हाँ,
2-4 है यहाँ।
है दाई
है, वो साल तो घर ही में बने होता है बच्चे। और डिलीवरी घर ही में होते है, कोई जाते है दारचूला में।
अच्छा, दारचूला में नहीं। दाई अच्छा करता है आप लोगों का डिलीवरी?
हाँ, यहाँ का हमारा की वो दाई,
आपका दाई
हमारा दाई अच्छा ही करता है।
करता है। दाई को क्या बोलता है आप लोग, आपका भाषा में?
खबेरी
कबरी।
कबेरी,
हाँ, वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, कबेरी।
कबेरी
They have the midwife who conducts the deliveries. Her name is called as Kaberi. Kaberi is the important person here who conducts the deliveries for locally. Only certain times they are going for the hospital for the delivery, or most of the times Kaberi conducts the deliveries here. And Kaberi का कैसा आपका करता है? यहाँ देखो, वहाँ देख कर बोलो। कबरी यही करता है ना घर में? अच्छा करता है।
कल परसों तो करा है मकान वाला का।
अच्छा करता है?
अच्छा ही करता है।
अच्छा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है?
नहीं तो।
So there is no problem. The Kaberi takes care of the deliveries and she is conducting nicely. The umbilical cord we cut with the blade and it is tied with the thread. There is no problem for the deliveries. आप बच्चा पैदा होने के बाद दवाई गिवाई कौन देता है माँ?
कहीं कोई नहीं देता है, ऐसा ही हमारा है। ये पहाड़ी दवाई करते हैं हम।
आप
पहाड़ी दवाई, हाँ, जड़ी बूटी करा ऐसा ही।
वो देता है, आप लोग ही करते हैं?
हम यहीं से जंगल से ढूंढ ढाड़ के बनाते हैं।
आप लोग ही बनाते हैं? हाँ। So they are experts in ethno-medicinal practices. They prepare their own indigenous medicines. See, we have seen the Himalaya'S. There is a rich of ethno-medicinal plants, herbs and shoots. So they will collect the medicines from these herbs and shrubs, and they will have the medicines. Generally they won't go for hospital. That is what she is telling. In all kind of diseases and ailments they will get cured by themselves. अभी जब बच्चा पैदा होता है ना, उसके नामकरण कब करता है?
हम करते हैं 11 में।
11 दिन में?
हाँ, 11 दिन।
11 दिन में
ये क्या हुआ तुम्हारा क्या हमारा का?
हाँ, हमारा भी करता है 11 दिन में। वो फंक्शन का नाम क्या बोलता है आपका? वो करता है ना 11 दिन में उसको, आपका भाषा में?
नामकरण है।
नहीं, आपका भाषा में
नुआन बोलते हैं।
नुआन।
हाँ, नुआन।
So the naming ceremony is called as Nuwan. It is performed on the 11th day. उसका कौन सा नाम देता है? आप दो नाम देता है ना, एक आपका नाम, एक बाहर का नाम। नाम कैसा नाम देता है
बच्चे का?
हाँ, बच्चे का।
जैसे कि वो ना कि अपने ओर से दिया सही नाम सर। हाँ। क्यों पहले
दूध कितने बरस तक देता है आप लोग? दूध बच्चों के लिए? पीछे नहीं, माँ का दूध
आते हैं, छाती का दूध साल भर 2 साल 1.5 साल तक देते रहते हैं।
2 साल तक देते हैं। अच्छा, वो जब
Apart from breastfeeding, they doesn't have any other alternative methods to feed the child. That is why most of the children are malnourished and mothers also malnourished. The ICDS which is functioning here is also not functioning well. So there is a need to provide nutritional food for pregnant women, lactating mothers and infants.
आदमी भी खा लेगा बच्चे के लिए।
जब लड़की 12 और 13 साल हो जाता है ना, घर से दूर होता है ना, बड़ी हो जाती है ना, उसको क्या बोलता है आप?
छोट पर
छोट
बोलती है। छोट बोलता है।
छोट। छोट में कितना दिन वो लड़की बाहर रखता है?
हमारी 5-6 दिन तक।
5-6 दिन तक। So the puberty is called as
दिन तक हम पानी नहीं खाते उसके हाथ का।
अच्छा, the first puberty is called as chut. She will be kept for about 6 days out of the house, and she is not allowed to touch any vessels and containers, and she is not supposed to give any kind of milk or food also. She is not supposed to cook. It is strictly followed. So today they will be performing simple food. They will prepare for all the people in the village, and they will serve to all the people, and the girl will be taken. Those who are rich, they will go for good class, new class. Otherwise they will be having their own old class, and they will be. She is telling they are very poor, and it is very difficult for them to celebrate any function. If they have the money, they can go for celebration. That is. शादी का टाइम में आप पक्की करते हैं ना शादी में, उसमें कुछ पैसा देता है ना लड़की को?
लड़की देते
है ना? उसको क्या बोलता है आप लोग?
पया बेकू जितना भी
पहाया बेकू इज कॉल्ड। कितना पैसा देता है? क्या देता है पाया बेल में?
पैसे क्या लड़की को देने के लिए
थोड़ा देर से रिकॉर्ड होना।
सर 200 रुपया की पहले की जाओ 200 था, अब तो 1000-2000 देते हैं।
2000। ओके। और द ब्राइड प्राइस इज कॉल्ड Pahaya Beko, which is paid. Previously they used to pay 200 rupees. Presently they are going for payment up to the extent of 2,000 to 5,000 rupees also, depending on the economic conditions of the bridegroom.
The institution of marriage is the most cherished and most significant social event in Raji life. Adult marriage and monogamy is the common practice. It is done more by mutual choice and love between the boy and the girl than by parental interference. Didai boys and girls enjoy total freedom for a selection of their mates, and so most of the marriages are love marriages. The marriages season is between February and June. Like other tribal societies, the bride price is paid by the boy's family to the girl's family. The bridegroom comes to the bride's house for the wedding ceremony, which is celebrated pompously with dancing, drinking, and feasting. The different forms of marriages which are followed by the Rajis are marriage by elopement, marriage by love, and marriage by mutual consent, that is arranged marriages. Most of the families, they will be going for love marriages. Because of the poverty, they are not able to spend a huge amount of money for the arranged marriages. Widow marriage, levirate and surrogate are permitted in Raji society. Divorce, separation and remarriage of either of the spouses are also permitted to end unhappy marital life. Only the husband has the right to divorce his wife formally. On the other hand, the wife can desert him or elope with her lover, forcing her husband to give divorce. Nowadays, the Raji marriage system has been subject to many changes under the influence of increasing outside contact and mobility, and many age-old customs and traditions have been given up. Therefore, we can observe among these Rajis, the divorce rate is decreased and the observation of levirate and surrogate marriages has no more exist. Those who are well-to-do, they are inviting the Brahmin priest to officiate the marriage function. This is a tremendous change we will observe among the Raji population.
यार औरत मर जाता है ना, उसको क्या बोलता है, डेथ को क्या बोलता है आप लोग?
सीए कहते हैं।
सीए। अच्छा, सीए जब एक गांव में सीए हो गया और उसको क्या करता है, लेके जाने का दफन करता है, नहीं तो जलाता है, सबको जलाता है। मैंने सुना आप जलाता नहीं, दफन नहीं करता है, ऐसा ही जंगल में छोड़ देता है।
नहीं
पहले ऐसा करता था ना,
पहले करते पहले, आजकल के कोई नहीं करते, या तो दफन करेंगे,
छोटा शादी नहीं होगा तो बड़ा होगा तो जला देते हैं, नहीं तो दफन कर देते हम लोग।
सो शादी नहीं हुआ तो दफन करते हैं, शादी हो गया तो उसको जला देते हैं। सो अभी आजकल बॉडी को ऐसा नहीं छोड़ते हैं जंगल में जानवर निकालने के लिए। सो वो जंगल में छोड़ देते हैं ना ऐसा बॉडी, उसको क्या बोलता था आपका भाषा में?
हट आ गए थे माने।
जंगल में पहले बहुत पुराना जमाने में बॉडी का ऐसा छोड़ दे जानवर खाने के लिए, उसको क्या बोलता था?
हटवा कहते हैं।
हटवा
मनैया ऊता, मनैया ऊता,
मनैया ऊता, मनैया ऊता,
जंगल में छोड़ दिया बंदा।
अच्छा, it is called Siyaya. So the Siyaya, once it is happened in the village, if it is, they will inform all the people in the villages that it has been happened, death has happened, so and Sunday person, and they will invite for the death ceremony. The death ceremony, they will clean the dead body, they will wrap the body. If they are having money, they will go for a new cloth, otherwise it's the old cloth they will wrap, will carry the dead body to the burial ground. And previously, that is, when his forefathers and grandfather, they used to have Manaya Otal is a kind of disposing the dead body. A man or a woman, if they dies, they will leave the dead body in the forest, that to allowing the dead body to eat by the jungle wild animals. And they won't cremate or they won't bury. Presently, we can observe here, they have switched on to different kind of Hindu influence is there. So Hindu influence is working on these people. Because of the Hindu influence, they have changed, that is, leaving the body in the jungle. Nowadays they are going body for cremation and also burying. अब उसको बॉडी जलाते हैं नहीं तो दफन कर देते हैं ना, उसका छठी करता है ना, 7वां दिन और 11वां दिन, कौन सा दिन करता है?
11वां दिन करते हैं, उसका दिन पूरा.
For purificatory ceremony they will be performing on the 11th day. It is called as Dengu Purvi. 11th day they will be cooking the food and serving all the people, and also they will worship the dead ancestors along with the dead person. On the 12th day they will perform a ritual is called as Pipal Bitai. On that day they will go with the cotton thread, they will tie the pipal tree with the thread, and they will worship the pipal tree, and they will have the tikka, that is, bindis they will be doing in that for all the clan members. That is the very important one which you have to in death ceremony.
Rajis call themselves as Hindus by religion, but that is, and gods are different. According to Crook, they worship Devi when anyone gets ill. They worship the gods, ghosts and demons of the jungle, but they erect no temples in their honor.
भूमियाल उसको भी पूजा करता है अपना. उसमें क्या क्या करता है बताओ?
भूमियाल में बलि,
हाँ,
पूरी प्रसाद, चावल, भात,
हाँ.
दाल सब बनाते हैं.
The Rajis worships the Bhuya god. Previously he is telling that they used to worship the nature, plants and animals and the nature. Now they have started worshipping because of the Hindu influence. They are starting worshipping the gods, but there is no images. But the god name is Bhuya, which you can see here. They have the trees, plants. Under this they have made a shape of like tombs. In this they will worshipping Bhuya god. For this Bhuya god they will be worship with preparing with rice, cooked rice, that is called as khichdi with dal, and also they will prepare puris and they will offer to the god as a naivedya, that is offering. So only vegetarian food is offered to this Bhuya god. That is the annual rituals they will be performing, and this is the place where they will sacrifice the goat and hen. They won't do it here. They will sacrifice the hen and goat here for the welfare of the village and to take care of the village people. Without any infections or diseases and measles, they will sacrifice the goat and chicken here. Annual rituals they will be performing.
Over a period of time, the Rajis had changed their religion. They started constructing the temple, but there is no idol. But they are using the emblems of the Trishul, and Hindu way of worshipping is observed among the Raji tribe.
जीवन कैसा होता है आप बताना, आप बताओ. आपका जीवन खाने के लिए कैसा जीवन करते हैं? क्या क्या जंगल से क्या क्या होता है बताओ?
क्या होता है जंगल से? कुछ भी नहीं.
खाने
जंगल से क्या क्या लेके आता है खाने के कुछ चीज?
कुछ पानी लाता है क्या?
कंदमूल होता है, लेके आता है खाने के लिए.
हाँ सर, दूर जाते हैं सर. यहाँ हमारे कम होता है.
अच्छा, वहाँ से क्या क्या लेकर बेचता है?
Traditionally, the Raji are food gathering and hunting tribe, depending on the forest for their subsistence. Over a period of time, and introducing of the forest policy, they are forced to change their traditional occupation. Kavita Rastogi, in her article, mentions that they used to carve and trade wooden bowls and boxes for grain, cloths, etc. with surrounding sedentary community villagers. But conditions have changed in the last several decades, and Raji given up silent trade. Presently, the Rajis have changed their traditional occupation to the daily wage laborers working in the agricultural fields, laying of the roads and forest departments. Their way of life is totally changed. In spite of the difficulties, still they are depending on the forest and forest produce. As though there is a pressure from the forest department not to go for the forest. In spite of it, they are still depending on the forest. Very few of them are having agriculture as their primary occupation, growing wild variety of paddy. Due to poverty, the dependency of the Rajis on the forest produce is increasing every day. We can observe here, still they are depending on the forest produce for their daily living.
She is telling she will be removing. किसको बनाएगा सब्जी इसको दिखाओ. So this they will be removing the this one. मेरे हाथ में रखो, जो काटा है उसको रखो. इसको भी ऐसा ही खा लेता है सबको.
ना पीछे तोड़ देते हैं सर.
ये
पीछे तोड़ देते हैं.
अच्छा इसको तोड़ दे.
इसमें तोड़ देते हैं. इसे ये ऊपर का बनाते हैं सर.
अच्छा. Only the birds they will cook. अच्छा. Only the birds they will prepare the curry. उसका curry को क्या बोलता है उसका? कोयराला. No, बनाने के बाद क्या बोलता है वो सब्जी को?
बलाव कहते हैं.
Balao. अच्छा, after this is the koirala birds collected from the forest, they will make a curry. After making the curry name is balao. So balao it will be eat. They will eat with the roti and also with the rice. So balao अच्छा रहता है आपको? खाने का अच्छा लगता है? हाँ? अच्छा. Green leaves which you can see here. She has. They have a kitchen garden also. They are also growing this one rye, or from forest also it grows. They will collect it. They will make a curry and they will eat with the roti. रोटी के साथ खाता है चावल के साथ? भात के साथ. रोटी भी खाता है ना आप लोग? रोटी के साथ भी. You can see these people since morning they doesn't have any kind of occupation. Just like that they will be sitting. There is no job.
The status of women among the Raji is equal with that of men. Women is given importance in all walks of life. Women is the backbone for the family income and for living. When compared to the men, the women contribution to the family in all respect is more. Apart from working as a daily wage laborers in different fields, women takes care of the domestic work such as cleaning the house, water fetching, collection of firewood, cooking the food and collection of the minor forest produce from the forest. Women work in the agricultural fields. From seedling to harvesting, women contribution to economy is very high compared to that of men. Women play an important role in marketing their product of minor forest produce, which you can observe here. She is carrying the wood to sell in the market. This is the regular affair of many of the Raji women. Due to poverty and increasing the cost of living, now almost all the women are depending on the forest in selling the firewood, and also they started collecting the green leaves and grass from the forest and selling it in the market as a fodder for the animals. So the dependency on the forest is increasing, the poverty level is also increasing, the living conditions of these Rajis is becoming problematic every day.
Political system is called पंच बिटाला. उसमें कौन कौन मेंबर होता है, कौन है मुख्य होता है? पंच बिटाला में कौन कौन होता है?
वार्ड मेंबर होता है, मुख्य प्रधान हुआ.
मुख्य प्रधान, और उसमें सब सारा चीज
ग्राम
प्रधान है. अच्छा, या 9 गांव है ना, हर एक गांव के एक ग्राम प्रधान है?
पता नहीं सर. और
आपका गांव का कौन है प्रधान?
प्रधान है मदनपुरी में है.
मदनपुरी है.
अच्छा, कोई प्रॉब्लम होने से आप वो करता है क्या?
वहाँ के नहीं करने वाले. हमारा तो प्रॉब्लम जैसे आपस में हमारा गांव तल्ला गांव मल्ला गांव एक ही गांव है ना, जो जिन नगरियों से, तो इनके साथ प्रधान से समझौता हो जाता है. पंच बैठाला.
पंच बैठाला.
वार्ड मेंबर होता है, मुख्य प्रधान हुआ.
मुख्य प्रधान, और उसमें सब सारा चीज ये करता है क्या? तो अभी तक को डाइवर्स करना है, ये औरत वो आदमी से पसंद नहीं है, अलग होना है, वो भी कर लेता है ना उसमें?
उसके लिए कोई उसमें भी कर लेते हैं, कोई फिर थाने में जाना पड़ता है, उसके लिए नहीं करते.
थाने में भी जाता है?
हाँ, थाने में भी जाते हैं बहुत से लोग.
ऐसे तलाक देते थे ना आप लोग, है ना? शादी भी बाद में भी शादी कर सकता है ना?
कर सकता है.
कर सकता है ना, वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ.
राशन कार्ड नहीं हुआ तो यही तो आधा नहीं दिया है. कहाँ से सब बिले खा रहे हैं. 25-22 रुपया ऐसी तोड़ के खा रहे हैं. एक भारी लकड़ी ले जाते हैं तो क्या आते हैं उसमें? ठप ठप है वहाँ तो. तेल बनाए तो तेल ही, राशन बनाए तो राशन ही. क्या होते हैं उसमें? हाँ?
अब कोई नहीं मिल रहा है, राशन कितना मिलता है
किसी
आपका?
का कहाँ देते पाते?
राशन कार्ड ही नहीं है आप लोगों का।
आधा है कार्ड, आधा का नहीं है।
अच्छा।
22 किलो देते हैं, 10 किलो गेहूँ, उसमें क्या खाओगे फिर बताओ?
हाँ।
करीब खाने वाला 6-7 परिवार हुआ, हाँ, बच्चे हुआ खाने वाला, उसमें क्या पहुँचता है? 2 सरकारी होते हैं, 2 रोज का हुआ ना, फिर क्या
Here
होगा?
is interesting. These people are vulnerable population. Only 50% of the population of the Rajis has the ration cards. The rest of them doesn't have the ration cards according to her this thing. And they are giving 22 kilos boys, that is 22 kilos of rice and 10 kilos of wheat, which will not be sufficient for them to take. And there is no ration card for these many of the people, and you have seen each bundle of food will be sold for 50 rupees. With that 50 rupees, how they can go for the living, and the rice costs about 20 rupees in the market, and how much rice they can purchase and how can they can able to live. So it is a serious issue. One has to think about it for their livelihood. These people doesn't have any other substitute except the depending on the wood and some of the selling in the minor forest produce from the jungle, and there is no cultivation also for many of them. Very few of them are having cultivation. That also only once in a year they will be growing. That also is very small patches of land they are having. Their livelihood is very, very, very difficult. It is impossible for them to live. If you live like this, migrants population is increasing day by day according to her. So these people are also snatching away their resources of minor forest produce. It is very difficult for them for their livelihood. So that is what this woman is telling. Health problems also increasing for them because of the acculturation and so many issues they are facing. बिजली का मिला है, लाइट का
बिल आते रहते हैं। आज
फ्री नहीं है आपका करंट?
नहीं, कहाँ है हमारा? ये देखो तो, ये तो लाइन है क्या? सिंगल लाइन लाया है, इसमें तो बिजली दनादन दे रहा है।
So this is one of the important things. The primitive tribes they are inhabiting in this region, and most of the states they are giving free electricity for the primitive tribes, one bulb for each house. And I have observed almost all the states except Gujarat state. Many of the states they are giving free electricity, one bulb for a house. Here she is telling
200 का ही किसी दिन आते हैं।
200 महीने में, 2 महीने के लिए
2 महीने में
200 आता है।
हाँ।
So 2 months once they are getting the bill around 200 rupees, which is a heavy amount for these people. I request the policy makers and the state government people, they should be provided free electricity for these people, because they are the primitive tribes, they are under a poverty level, and also they have the special incentives according to the constitution. They are the people to be provided with all kinds of amenities and requirements. A small population like 668 individuals, we are not able to safeguard, we are not able to protect these people. How you can save the big tribes and how you can develop the entire country? So this is a small population. It should be considered that immediate steps should be taken to solve some of the issues which these people are facing. Since 5 days I am walking, visiting all the villages which they are inhabiting, the 9 villages. None of the villages have any kind of required infrastructure facilities. Doesn't have any kind of infrastructure. You can see the houses, the conditions you can see here. All the stone houses. Once they have been 20 years before they have provided in Indira Awas some of the houses. Afterwards there is no renovation, there is no repair, nothing. You can see the inaccessible areas. The agricultural lands also you can see small patches of lands. These are the agricultural lands. How they can able to survive with these agricultural lands? The government has not given so far any kind of land. So you can see the observing now these are the some of the houses. These houses lands in the down which you are observing, and it is very difficult for them. Until and unless a policy level decision has to be taken to provide the land. Once they were happily living in the forest without any difficulty. Now the forest people control their movement and they are not allowed to enter into the jungle. They can only collect the minor forest produce. They cannot go into the jungle. You can see here many of them are living in a pathetic conditions. You can see here the houses, the way they are living is really very pathetic. Under the forest policy, they should be given 5 acres of land. That should be provided to these people. Until and unless we won't take up any drastic step for the conservation of these people, it is very difficult to save them.
हाँ सर, जहाँ भी रोजगार सरकारी हो सर, हमारे लिए मिलता है, बहुत परेशानी होता है सर। अब पैसे नहीं होता है सर, दौड़ भाग करने के लिए, कुछ हुआ है दौड़ भाग किया तो वहाँ सोर्स नहीं मिला, कुछ नहीं, आदमी हमको गरीबी कोई नहीं दिखता सर।
और पानी की ये
समस्या है,
पानी हो ही नहीं, पानी तो यहाँ है ही नहीं, पानी की बहुत समस्या है।
टॉप है, पानी नहीं आता इसमें।
आता है, हल्का छोटा पानी आता है,
कभी
कहीं टंकी बना, टंकी की योजना आ जाते तो
टैंकी होकर पानी चाहता है।
हाँ सर,
कुछ और
गवर्नमेंट से बकरी अगरी की योजना दे दे तो
बकरी चाहिए,
बकरी
योजना। हाँ, वो ऐसे फ्री लोन गोट्स चाहिए। हाँ, और
मुर्गी पालन, जिससे
मुर्गी,
गाय का होने वाला है, गाय
गाय
भैंस
के पास की कोई गाय रखा है यहाँ?
है, हमारे पास है, पहाड़ी के गाय हैं, जंगल चले गए,
जंगल लगा दिए, जंगल पहुँचा गए अभी से।
अच्छा,
गाय भी,
बकरी है घर में, मतलब
बकरिया चलता है जी। मेरे में गोट तो है बकरी।
फीस चलने की प्रॉब्लम, और गरीबी में पैसे नहीं हुए पढ़ाने के लिए ज्यादा बच्चों को।
हाँ,
और
क्या चाहता है आप?
पढ़ाने के लिए सुविधा मिले, और क्या
कैसा सुविधा?
जैसे बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए हॉस्पिटल हुआ,
कैसा सुविधा चाहिए?
फीस माफ हो,
किताब मिले, ड्रेस मिले बच्चों के लिए।
किताब ड्रेस नहीं मिल रहा है अभी?
नहीं, अपने आप ही खरीद के बनाते हैं।
वो हॉस्टल में आप खरीद को देता है?
नहीं, हॉस्पिटल में तो मिल रहा है।
हाँ।
खरीद के। हॉस्टल में तो सरकारी आता है, वहीं से।
हाँ।
वो 5वीं तक हुआ, फिर प्राइमरी तक ही है।
प्राइमरी में प्रॉब्लम है?
प्राइमरी से ऊपर है प्रॉब्लम।
क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
जूनियर में।
हाँ।
जूनियर में सब चीज अपना ही खरीद के बच्चों को पढ़वाना हुआ।
माय नेम इज विजय सिंह।
विजय सिंह, कौन सा क्लास में पढ़ता है? व्हाट क्लास यू आर स्टडीइंग? 10th. Where? Which school? Jaldevi. School name?
PIC Government Inter College.
Inter College. Which 10th class you are studying?
Yes.
So after 10th class, what do you want to do? क्या करना चाहता है 10th के बाद?
फौज में जाना चाहता है।
कॉलेज में? कौन सा कॉलेज में, कहाँ?
कॉलेज में नहीं, फौज में।
फौज में जाना चाहता है। Oh, so he is RAJI is the young boy who is studying in 10th standard. Now he wanted to go for the force, that is the military. He wanted to get admission. See, these are the boys, because after 10th they are not doesn't have any avenues for higher education, and they have been forced to drop out from the college education. Now he is interested to go for the military to serve for the nation. He is staying in the remote village. See, for me, for coming from Delhi, it took 4 days to reach this village. But this boy is studying 10th class. I am really proud. He has to go nearly 18 kilometers daily from this jungle to the school, and he has to come back. In spite of the difficulties, he is successful in doing his 10th standard. Whether you can believe it, I am surprised that boy is 10th standard. I request the policy makers and the government of India to see this type of people, primitive tribes, to bring them up, to give him the position in the military, and he wanted to serve the nation. If you provide such a type of people a place in the military, definitely they will sacrifice the life for the country. You have to identify. Many of them are, which you have seen in many of the states which I have visited, primitive tribes, they wanted to do service for their community itself after completing their education. But this boy is indifferent. He wanted to go for military to serve the nation. And I hope his aspiration may be filled. I request the military general, whosoever may be the in charge for the academy to recruit, to take this boy as a military sepoy. They are reduced the hunting. Now they are totally depending on food gathering, different kind of roots, shrubs, and also roots they are collecting from the forest. Their economic status is very poor. Many of them doesn't have the ration cards. The subsidy they are not getting for any kind of this one. Electricity is also they are not able to get. They have to pay for the electricity. That is a really a pathetic condition. Nowhere electricity charges are charged for the primitive tribes. I request the government to make it free for them for the electricity. The Rajis are requesting the government to construct a overhead tank to provide them the water because they are not able to get water, protected water for drinking. Then hospital is a far away distance. They are telling it is around 18 to 20 kilometers. Most of the deliveries are taking place in the village itself with the help of the DOI. The doctor is not at all coming to these places. They need a mobile doctor to come at least once in a month to visit these places. And 108, the vehicle is not at all coming. If they want to go for hospital, they have to go by their own way. They have to spend from their pocket only. No question of any financial aid will be given for the deliveries or for those who become diseased. So these are some of the issues which they are facing, major issues. Apart from this, they have the school problem. According to him, he is telling up to 5th standard there is no problem. And the government is providing books and other things. After 5th standard, it is becoming very difficult for them for the education. They have to purchase the books, they have to purchase the uniform and everything. So he is requesting the government that it should be made free. Hostel education should be provided to them. And also for higher education, after 10th and 11th crossing, they are not able to send the children for higher education. Immediately those who pass for higher education, they should be taken to the college by the government itself. Because of the innocence, they are not able to know the higher education about higher education. They should be given special incentive that to admit in the colleges and the universities. That is what I am suggesting. The central universities and the tribal university which has been established in Madhya Pradesh, they should look into these affairs. They should be select these students, those who have passed 12th. They should be directly admitted to the integrated courses there or diploma courses, whichever is they require. Such a type of policy should be developed to uplift these primitive tribes. Otherwise, they cannot be developed by simply having a policy level at a higher level and implementation level. We are not looking into it. So there is a great need that it should be developed. These people means there is a micro project is necessary. And another thing I wanted to inform to the policy makers, that's only 9 villages are there. 9 villages we have 6 clans. And 9 villages, they can be integrated together or independently they can be financed directly from the government to the village heads. They have the political structure, well established political structure. Each village should be given to financial resources and what they want, it can be developed like a Canadian situation which I have visited and I have developed a project for this aboriginal population. It is easy for them, policy makers, to develop 9 villages independently with the finance directly given to the population itself, directly to the Raji people, not to through the middlemen. You can find out what is the requirement for these people and directly you can make a body for each village, a body for the developmental body, a micro project can be developed, action plan. Through the action plan, it can be implemented and it can be developed without any problem. So we have the resources, we have the people which you have to make it for the development of these Raji people. Otherwise, the 680 individuals may perish at any time. I have seen in the morning, lot of people are going for selling the wood for 50 rupees. With that 50 rupees, they have to survive for the whole day. If the rain comes, means they won't go for selling the wood. Then on that day, they will be without food, starving. That is the major problem.
I wanted to know your comments on when Raji tribe is facing extinction, authorities remain indifferent. Please critically comment on this, whether they are going to extinct you. What is your views?
They are not going to extend. It is how they are making the different statements, number one. Number two is I told you the 2 regions about the Rajis. They are going to Nepal, they are coming from Nepal, and then they were having different family planning and tumors and herbs. In my opinion, when they are given people are opting for some family planning programs, right? And sometimes they don't want to. But in my opinion, I wish that they should progress, they should increase their population, and slowly they will increase their population. And I think I am very hopeful that they will cross 1,000 or so. In case you talk about the population, you will go to the census report, even they have shown that Rajis are present in Moradabad or different parts of Uttar Pradesh. But I should have not told, but it is the fact when you go to the census report. But
They are also infertilities because of the consumption of the roots and tubers of specific roots and tubers. Because of the steroids, infertility was there. We have conducted a counseling and we have asked them not to consume specific roots and tubers because of fertility. That is also one of the counseling. It is happening not only Raji and Wongi, in many of the primitive tribes it is happening. That is why the fertility rate is coming down. So what as an anthropologist, myself, I think if you agree, we suggest we need a scientific approach study of the roots and tubers consumed by the primitive tribes. These consumption, what are they? We have to identify the roots and tubers which are consumed by these tribes, and we have to analyze, and we have to give them the awareness among these primitive tribes not to consume that roots and tubers, so that they know that steroids can be reduced, avoided, and the fertility rate can be increased.
Right.
That is what which I feel.
Agree.
So this will be one of the research projects should be taken up by the Government of India, or the Planning Commission itself has to take up with by appointing the nutritional anthropologists for conducting such a type of study, so that it will be great helpful to conserve the endangered, vulnerable population. Thank you very much for viewing this channel. Please subscribe, forward it to your friends to understand the living cultures of Indian people and their way of life. Thank you very much. Thank you.